Good evening to my senior and my fellow interns. I am Srijoyee Chakraborty from a final year law student from South Calcutta Law College under Calcutta University. Today I am going to present this topic regarding women's right in the maintenance and custody rights for a child. So, why this topic is important? Of course, this topic is important because we are talking about women who have been dominated through decades under the patriarchal society and the misogynist outbreak, where a woman had no words to speak, so voice to shout. So, of course, it is important. Next, we're talking about women's rights in the maintenance. So, here, maintenance means the in the context of financial stability, like a woman is independent or should be independent, but at some time when she has nothing to do, or it's like she is dependent to someone, it is really uh, a positive way to maintain her because she comes after her marriage with all the responsibilities that she is going to take for her home, for her new home. So it is important. And when we are talking about custody in different contexts of law, whether it is criminal and civil, have different point of view. But here, in this context, we are learning about custody of children, where it specifically demonstrate the protection of child, like uh, under his mother or his parental guidance. So, but at the same time, custodial rights should also be given to women. That we will come later. So, at this moment, we will discuss about why the topic is important, the financial securities that a woman will get, and the welfare of the children as well, so that a children should not be secluded from her mother. Uh, so, moving forward, there is a special quote from Michelle Obama. We know Michelle Obama. She was the former First Lady of US and a respected, well-known figure for advocate who's a strong advocate for women and children's right. And she put forward a quote that there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish, especially when we fight for our families. So, this code must be implemented. Like, of course, there should not be any limitation or restriction to women because, as other human beings, we can still accomplish. But if anyone point out fingers to our family, we women become the most dangerous people. So, talking about our country, India is a vast country and there is 1.438 billion of people, out of which 707 millions are female. And the TFR is showing 1.98 child per woman. Okay, TFR is a fertility rate. So just imagine if there are so many people, out of which there are 700 millions are female, and still most of them, especially in rural areas, even in some urban areas, they are still oppressed and suppressed by the male dominated society, and they are not aware of what their power is. So Let's see. Even the country we live in is referred to as Mother India. Therefore, it must be protected at all cost. Next, we will talk about uh, slide. So, we will talk about the maintenance and custody of women's rights for a child. There are many laws that has been implemented for women and as well as her child. So, of course, it should be under Criminal Procedure Code 1973. A mother can claim maintenance for her minor child from the father, whether it is legitimate or illegitimate. Also, a child with physical disabilities are also entitled for maintenance. It also says that an unmarried daughter can also claim maintenance if she does not have sufficient income to make herself stable. So it can be gathered as that a mother can claim a maintenance for her minor child, of course, because whether in the marriage procedure, we all see that both of the parents should have the responsibilities to maintain their child. Therefore, it has implemented and it has influenced a lot in the society. Next, we come for Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956, where it says a father is legally bound to maintain legitimate or illegitimate children, and it is applied to Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, Sikhs. And also, a mother can also maintain her child if she is financially stable. It is also said that in Hindu law that a father should be obviously bound to maintain his child, but if a mother can also maintain, then it's okay. But that doesn't light the burden of a father because the responsibility of the both to maintain a child. Then we are coming to Hindu Marriage Act 19. Next, we are we are going to Hindu Marriage Act 1955, where it says Section 26 refers to the custody of children, where it says that the interim orders which are referred for the maintenance should be respected before the passing of a final decree. Means, even if the proceedings goes on in these cases, still, whatever the interim order passes, whether it is for like bearing the cost of the child or the wife or maintaining a child, uh, whatever it is, everyone should respect the interim orders under the Hindu Marriage Act before the passing of the final decree. Then we are coming to women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, where a mother can claim maintenance for her children under this act, especially in cases of domestic violence or abandonment. It says that a wife can claim for maintenance with her children, especially in the cases of domestic violence or abandonment. Of course, if it's for divorce, then it's okay, no problem, because when it comes to a child and it comes to the fact that a mother has to protect her child, of course, she will think about the child's future upbringing, emotional well being as well. Also, it's not restricted in Hindu. law. It also splurged to Muslim law as well. So under Muslim Women Protection of Rights of Divorce Act 1986, a Muslim woman is entitled to claim for her minor child during her iddat period. Okay. So this Muslim law is entitled to claim for maintenance for her minor child when she is in iddat period. Iddat period, as in the sense, the period where a woman is secluded from her husband in the period of divorce or in the period of whether when he's sorry, when her husband has died or for any other religious period she wants to separate herself from anything, and also if she wants to remarry in future, that period is known as Iddat period. So in that period, if a Muslim woman having a child, then she is entitled to claim the maintenance. Again, there is Muslim Women Protection and Rights of Marriage Act 2019. A Muslim woman can easily have the custody of her children in the pronouncement of talaq given by her husband. When a husband is giving talaq in the Muslim law, it is responsibility of the husband to take the responsibilities of the Muslim woman as well as her child as referred to the act. And also, when the talaq is given by her husband, there a period, uh, 3 month basis, and a Muslim woman obviously can divorce her husband if she wants, as it's said in Muslim law that she can also bear the cost of the minor child, but when the husband is giving talaq, he is bound to bear the cost of the child. Therefore, there have been many case laws to protect the children of every woman, whether it is in Christian law, in Parsi law, in Hindu law, or Muslim law, which is necessary to give speedy justice and remove the custodial battles for a child. Next, next we are having, so after all this, these those are the personal laws. So if we see India as a vast country, which is the laws which are actually can be given to all the women of India, irrespective of the gender, caste, religion. It is also very necessary to consider the important constitutional rights in India regarding the rights of women and children. As it is said in Article 14, the state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or the equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. That is, the state shall not deny any person equality, where in any person there includes women, children, worker, men, etc. Whoever resides within the territory of India. Next, Article 15, Clause 3. Nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any special provision for women and children. Therefore, it is saying that the state should not uh, should not the state should prevent from making any special provision for women and children because they deserve it. As we have earlier said that the women have been oppressed and dominated through decades. So at this point of time, uh, there should be some special provisions to protect it, and it is good. Article 21 says no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. It says that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty according to the procedure established by law, because we all are Indians, we all should be treated in equality and with fair means. Again, there is Article 39, Clause F. The state shall direct its policy that children are given opportunities and facilities to develop in a healthy manner and in conditions of freedom and dignity, and the childhood and youth are protected against exploitation and against moral and material abandonment. Therefore, the state should also ensure that children should be given excessively freedom to develop themselves in a healthy environment and good surroundings, so that nothing can obstruct their limitations in their fair kind of livelihood as protected in the cost of Indian Constitution. Next, it says, so after all this, we have come to the challenges faced by women for these rights. Of course, if anyone do the right thing or go in the right way, why will not be they oppressed or judged? Of course, it is same for the women as well. They face challenges at their everyday life, like facing emotional backlash from her family and society. Of course, how can you stand up against a man in the family? Or how can you go to a court, like demanding the justice, like you are a woman and you should not have the voice to do that. This kind of emotional backlash are also expected from the society. There are legal delays also, where we can see that in some cases they take a fire and they doesn't move that case to the court in the proper way, or it takes so much of time that the woman rather get disappointments than hope. Also, there are patriarchal domination, where we also have said earlier that there are in the patriarchal society, it is judged by men that a woman should not stand up and demand her rights, because it is the society we have created from the old generation that has been going still now, especially in the rural areas, of course. Then we are coming to financial instability. Some women are not being given the opportunity for education from the younger age. We have seen a lot like that, because their family does not support it, or they don't get what they want from their family. That's why, and they get married from the very early age. So as because of that, they also become unstable in the financial aspect. Also, there are custody bias. In some cases, there are custody bias, because when there are men out there bribing the policemen or the court officers with so much of money that you are not going to take up this case, or you are just going to lag this, so that the woman can't have the opportunity to get the fair justice. So this kind of custody bias are also there. Cultural pressure, of course, in the society, what will people say? There is cultural pressure. What will people say if I have the custodial rights and my husband doesn't, because my husband is taking responsibility, but I am not. So of course people will say something. So they have this cultural pressure. Lack of awareness. Uh, Most of the women in rural areas, they face this because they literally have no education, no legal education, or no information that they also have the voice to stand up against these um, male dominated society where this misogynist outbreak is normal, because they feel that is very awkward and maybe very absurd to go against and take the information of anything that is available. So in that way, there is a lack of awareness. Next, so about all of these, I have gathered these few case laws where it is said that how women are being suppressed, and but still the court gave the judgments so that the women have the betterment for the welfare of the child and have the fair means of justice. So first case is SB Singh versus J Court, and it was held in Madhya Pradesh. The court held that as financial condition of the husband is better, therefore he is bound to bear the expenses while custody is given to the mother. So as we have earlier seen that the husband have this better financial condition, so of course he should bound to bear the expenses. The second is Balbir Singh versus Hardeep Singh. This is Supreme Court. The court held that the father's liability to maintain the child does not cease merely because the child attained majority and is living with mother on account of natural love and affection. Just because the child doesn't want to live with you, or he loves his mother, that doesn't mean your liability from father is to like leave and just unburden yourself from all the responsibilities. Number three, it is also a Supreme Court case. Jugog versus Deepak Kumar, 2022, that recently the Supreme Court held that a husband should pay 10,000 to the wife and 6,000 to his son for maintenance. Therefore, we have seen all of these cases how court has also stand with the women of our society as well as for the betterment of the society. They also supported the children as well so that they are not secluded from the mother or father in any ways, and there are also both custody that are given to both of the parents in some cases as well. Next is conclusion. Therefore, it must be concluded that in the judicial system, even though many reforms have been made where women and children were prioritized, but still there is societal stigma where people will judge a woman in trivial incidents and for the faulty behavior in a child, or whether a woman can take full responsibility of a child or not. But we should remember that a mother figure always, out of all our emotions, stands and supports us, and she knows us very well when the world throws confusion or betrayal. Thank you.